Hey, good morning. Today is September 4th, 2025. This is Wes Fryer in Charlotte, North Carolina. Today is Meet the Teacher for middle school. So I got the tie, I even got the coat. I want to talk about fishing in deep water real briefly. So I have been using the Pray As You Go app and meditation for years now. I probably could look at my blog and see when I first started using it. My spiritual director, Kurt Gruel, out in Oklahoma City, where we now Zoom monthly to get to visit with each other, and he helps me see where God is active in my life. He recommended it to me. It's an Ignatian meditation. It's from the Jesuits of Britain. Fantastic. It's called Pray As You Go. You can just Google that. Today's meditation was on Luke 5, the first 11 verses. And this is a story of Jesus and the disciples, and they're fishing, and they've been fishing all night. And Jesus comes to them in the morning and says, go into the deep water and cast out your nets. And Peter's like, we've been fishing all night, but if you say it, Lord, I'll do it. And then they haul in this incredible catch. Couple thoughts about this. Number one, it really makes me think of The Chosen. And if you have not watched the TV series The Chosen, which now has 5 seasons, which is the story of Jesus, focusing primarily on the New Testament, although there are, reflections back to the Old Testament, and the Bible is a continued one continuous story. It's not like, throw away the Old Testament, we have the New Testament. Yes, Jesus brought the gospel and the New Testament, but it's built on the Old Testament, and it's good to understand where it all came from the Pentateuch and the first books of the Bible, to the prophets, Isaiah, all this. Okay. So the challenge in the meditation today is to think about moments in our lives where we've maybe been asked by God to go fish in deep water. What is the deep water that God might be calling us to go out into? And what I thought of immediately was, a bunch of things, but one of the things I thought of was when we lived in Oklahoma City, and I had been working for AT&T for a couple years as an education advocate, and then that job kind of went away. Actually, they wanted me to work on Homeland Security. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I went and joined the Oklahoma Heritage Association, which I think now is called just the Oklahoma Hall of Fame. And it was a real, kind of leap of faith. The bigger leap of faith was when I left the Oklahoma Heritage Association and went out on my own. Several things happened there, and this was financially, where God absolutely showed up and provided. And the one that I really remember is when we were buying our house in Oklahoma City, okay, and I'm so thankful for the VA loans. We've used the VA loan multiple times to buy houses, and at that point, and really, we're teachers, right? So we should be more thrifty, and we should always save more money. At that time, we did not have a large savings account. And when you're applying for a home loan, they take a snapshot of your bank accounts. And this is, again, a reference to God showing up, deep water, look at all these fish. It just serendipitously happened because I'm an independent consultant at this point. I do not have health insurance being provided by an employer. I was paying for some independent insurance. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is at the moment they took the snapshot of our bank accounts, and we were, needing to basically prove, hey, yeah, we have money. We're good for this house loan. It was the largest house loan that we'd taken at this point. And this is when we were moving from Edmond, where we were renting, into Oklahoma City. I had just gone to, I don't know if this is when I went to New Zealand, or there was a pretty large contracts that it was like $12,000 or something. It was crazy. And most of that money we had kind of already spent. But the moment that they were taking the snapshot, it was right after that deposit went into our account. And so, oh my gosh, look at this. We have over $10,000 in our bank account. And it was a very serendipitous moment. It was a moment, and I do believe with, looking back in hindsight, that God showed up, because if we hadn't had this money in our bank account at that time, this is like fishing in deep water and, look at the catch. I don't know that we would have qualified for the loan. I don't know that we would have been able to live in Quail Creek neighborhood where we lived and largely raised our children. They were in Edmond too, but anyway, it was a deep water moment. It was a moment where God showed up, and that was what the Pray As You Go meditation today made me think of. So I hope you have a great day, and I hope that you're encouraged, whatever the deep water is for you, in terms of where God may be calling you to move out into and to trust God and to watch God work. I mean, I can think of some deep water God's asking me to move into right now. And I want to have the courage to do that. I hope you have the courage to do that as well, to trust him. Because what does Jesus say? Do not be afraid. Man, that's good news. Have a great day.